Well, as per tradition, here is the best of leg 1 and 2. So right now we're at the end of leg 2, so we're halfway through the whole Tonga Trench Expedition. The final scores are we've got 40 landers done, an average interval of 260 metres from 1,400 to nearly 11,000 metres. Depth range between the shallowest and the deepest lander was 9,366 metres, which is incredible. The red arrows are little bits that Heather and Jess are going to try and fill in on 3 and 4. Hopefully get even shallow in that, so that will be the biggest lander transect ever done over that kind of depth range. That's absolutely massive. Subs, we did 7 sub dives on an average of every 1,500 metres from top to bottom. It's been a really interesting expedition. We've had some incredible highs. 2 10,000 metre dives in the space of a week. And it's been really good fun going up the shallow end and seeing, I hate to use the words normal deep sea I guess, but the more conventional type of diving.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really cool.
And the poster child for the trip, this thing here, it's an octopodidae. The experts believe it's related to what was known as Casper. If you ever put Casper into the internet, there was a little octopus found in 2016 off of Hawaii. It was been seen twice. Heather drove over it in the sub on Trans-Pacific, but it's never been caught, so it doesn't have a name. It's just known as Casper. This one isn't the same, but it's of that same ilk, so there's a good chance this doesn't have a name either. It will not be on the record.
Bridge SO, permission, put the sub in the pocket.
Yeah, green light.
I always think every submarine dive is a privilege. I'm well aware of that every time you get in the submarine. It's like, this is not normal in this, I'm a very lucky boy. Highlighting the sub to 2,000 metres was a big highlight because it was doing something else.
Oh, sponge bit ahead. Yep, white one. Yep.
Becoming more and more fascinated with things like the glass sponges and just how intricate and how diverse they are. This, I think, is one of the highlights of the trip. This is photographed by Luke, no less. This is another example of how far we've come with the sub in terms of being able to park it next to a big sponge, and then getting that level of detail is pretty bloody impressive. And I felt we've come away with some incredible images, and the volume of data we've collected is just huge. In the shallows you get much more complex biogenic structures, I guess, where you have something growing, and then once something grows, something else takes advantage of that altitude or elevation and grows on it, and then so you look in there's brittle stars over. The more you get in with your eye, the more you'll find there's probably 6 or 7 species just because one thing has taken root. Worms, scale worms. This is a really nice video of one of these things. These are something that for years we've never been able to get decent shots of because of the size and complexity of them, but with each trip we're doing, we're getting better and better shots of them. The big take home, the big win is the volume and quality and quantity of data. Probably would have liked a few more sub dives, but we've been fighting the weather the whole time. With the big swells coming through here, we're pretty exposed, and so we ran around a little bit the second leg. But during all that time, we're still mapping the trench. One thing we keep forgetting sometimes is we never switched that multi-beam off, and we have mapped, I think it's 42,000 square kilometres since we've been here. So we've mapped an area which is 56 times bigger than the Kingdom of Tonga. And all that is more or less new map. It's not until you actually take a step back at the end, you add up all the numbers and you go, oh, yeah, and we're only halfway through it. If we keep going, we're going to be up at 80,000 square kilometres of seafloor.
Bridge SO, permission to put Baku in the water.
Yeah, SO, green light, green light.
I wouldn't say I was happy to be leaving. There's things I would like to go back and do a couple more things, but I'm still kind of relieved that it's someone else's turn now. So the geologists and the oceanographers will come on and they'll do some really cool dives and they'll finish it off and they'll do an absolute fantastic job to it. So it'll be going on for another 6 weeks and that'll be the Tonga Trench complete.